Hi, Andrew Bell with you once again. As I touched on in my previous market update, the primary cause of our current housing crisis is the lack of supply, and the cost of building continues to compound the problem, and primarily in the affordable section of the real estate market. What we do see in the higher end of the real estate market is it's simply a case that people do have the money to pay whatever the price is that's been asked. And that is evident by the latest Urbis report that shows that the selling prices of apartments in Australia's largest cities jumped a record 24% in the December quarter. That's right, 24% in one quarter, with the price increases largely driven by building costs, labour shortages, and a shift towards owner-occupier grade buildings. We are now seeing that the average sale price is over $19,000 per square metre. The leap in prices is the biggest in a decade of data being collected by Urbis. The average price of pre-sales and under negotiation projects across Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth and indeed the Gold Coast was also up 34% year on year, and is driven by demand in Brisbane, where off the plan prices leaped 33% from the third quarter to $23,000 per square metre, says Urbis report. The report goes on to say that Australia's East Coast dominated apartment market is locked in a struggle between affordability and viability, as prospective buyers pay higher selling prices, up to 20% more than before the COVID pandemic, to make new project stock stack up for developers. So you can see the problem for those who don't have incomes or savings to buy higher end properties, and also where so many people cannot afford houses, which results in them just not being able to enter the real estate market. Governments need to put a greater focus on how they can help this affordable segment of the high-rise market, as it is where the greatest demand is, and to help so many Australians get into a property. Here on the Gold Coast, we may well suggest that there are opportunities to buy properties perhaps in the outer extremes of our Gold Coast city. Whilst that might sound like an option, it isn't for most people. So much of our work opportunities and our workforce locations are in the central parts of our city, and people need to live within close proximity to these markets. And so suggesting an hour's drive to work as a solution is a reality that most people can't endeavour to achieve. And of course our public transport is limited in great majority of our housing markets, and so that doesn't work. This is why I'm working with a team at present to at least address the build to rent high-rise development opportunities that are absolutely essential to get buildings in the right location. They've been built to a price, and they're absolutely essential in order to provide housing for key workers that are critical for the expansion of our city's economy and essential services that we need in our city. I've been touching on this in more detail moving forward, but for the time being, you can see where the problem exists. A lack of building of affordable apartments to cater for the largest pool of our population who are desperately needing somewhere to live. Now, before I go, we're only weeks away from the annual Business Meet Sports lunch. Really fantastic lunch on Friday the 30th of May at the Star Gold Coast. Joining us are leading sports identities. They'll be having a bit of a conversation with us, and also we continue our series of local business billionaires. And this year we hear from a young Southport High School student who entered the real estate market but ended up being one of Australia's mining moguls. There's always an answer to why people are so successful, and so there's great learnings to be had. A billionaire, one of the wealthiest people in the country, come along and be entertained, have lots of fun, great food, a couple of drinks, and enjoy the wonderful learnings that will come out of this afternoon. We normally have around 800 people in attendance. So details are on screen now about our team to contact to book your table, whether it's for one, whether it's for half a dozen, or indeed for a full table. Look forward to seeing you on the 30th. All the best for now.